We went from a 25 to 30 bushel pea crop to a 70 to 75 bushel pea crop almost every time. I discovered an article in Australia from 30 years ago where a researcher claimed that trifluralin had an effect on killing or suppressing Aphanomyces. So I said, well, let's throw it in our research and see what happens. Good fertility, Treflan, good crop rotation, manganese and zinc when you spray the peas, all literally doubled the yield in almost every case. Right now, it's really frustrating to be a farmer and want to grow peas and know that quite often when they grow them, the root rot takes over and they get nothing. And so I would say one of the largest concerns in Western Canada right now is the fact that some of these pulse crops are prone to Aphanomyces root rot disease. And if farmers knew that they could grow them and not get that disease, they would grow them. And sometimes I guess there's so much going on that we forget that a pulse is a critical piece of a good crop rotation.
How do you beat that Aphanomyces?
Well, interestingly enough, we picked fields that had a history of that disease when we do our research trials. And we, of course, seed normal peas, and then we play around with fertility, different levels of fertility. And we played around with, amazingly enough, Treflan. I discovered an article in Australia from 30 years ago where a researcher claimed that trifluralin had an effect on killing or suppressing Aphanomyces. So I said, well, let's throw it in our research and see what happens. And lo and behold, the Treflan treatments had way better disease control. So we replicated that five years in a row, and every year we did it. The highest yields were from a high fertility program with peas, high fertility. I'm talking NPK and S, like something like I don't know, 20, 40, 40, 15 sidebanded ration with the peas. When we did that, and we used Treflan, and we avoided heat herbicide, and when we sprayed manganese and zinc with our Odyssey or our Solo, we actually literally eliminated the problem. We never got rid of it completely, but we actually, in a lot of the trials on average, we went from a 25 to 30 bushel pea crop to a 70 to 75 bushel pea crop almost every time. And it worked out so well that actually that 5 years of research is now published in the American Journal of Plant Science. And so a lot of our customers use Treflan. We sell a lot of Treflan, and we just spray it with liquid on after we seed the peas or just before with the Roundup application for the pre-burn.
So you're getting customers back into peas with this?
Well, we're giving them more confidence, and of course we want to watch their crop rotation. Like a lot of farmers maybe got into trouble because they're growing lentils, Durham lentils, or peas, wheat, canola, peas, and putting them too often in the rotation was probably helping with cause the issues. And then a lot of pea growers, amazingly enough, from what my experience is, they believe, well, I can grow peas, I don't need to fertilize them because they're a legume, and what we discovered was a little bit of nitrogen starter. Sulfur was critical. When we added sulfur to the ration, we improved the yield considerably and the nodulation. So yeah, that's probably our best research we've ever done.
How do you consider this competitive edge of having this research available to you?
Well, in Rock Petroleum and Ultimate Yield, we actually have our own PhD scientist on staff. We have 6 full-time research agronomists, and this year, for example, we're doing 12 field scale trials. We have a little 12-foot Seedmaster drill. The PhD scientist, Dr. Aaron Corey is his name. He designs replicated randomized plot design trials, no different than a university would do. So every trial we do, we could publish if, we could rely on the statistical data. And so we like to play around with whatever problems a farmer has. And this year we have 12 different plots. The pea one we've done over and over again. We've done the lentil one, and every time we do it, we've proven that good fertility, Treflan, good crop rotation, uh, and manganese and zinc when you spray the peas, all literally doubled the yield in almost every case.